Good evening everyone, and thank you for joining. So today we're going to be reviewing the Grenadier INEOS. So let's go and take a look. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to give you a quick walk around. So this is my Grenadier INEOS in green. As you can see, I've got them for the steel wheels. It's a Fieldmaster. It's a good looking car. So just going to give you a quick walk around before we get into the nitty gritties of what it drives like. Things I like about it, things I don't like about it. I think the styling, you'll all agree, it's grown on me. You know, from certain angles, this angle I like it. From other angles not so much, but it does definitely have that old Defender appearance with, I believe, a little bit of G-Wagon to it. So you know, let's go and talk about its features. So things I've gone for is a rear ladder in case I need to get up there. Like I said, the steel wheels, the tow pack because I do a lot of towing, and I didn't go for the rails because for me I don't see any reason to have them. I've had these powder coated black as it's not an option, and it's got all the black pack. Obviously it's powered by BMW, but yeah, so it's a really good. It's got full LEDs, it's got the under panel protection. So let's jump in, let's have a little drive. Okay, so I'm just going to do a point of view. So as you can see, all these lights turn on. All of this turns on, the heaters, the blowers, etc., the normal stuff. Start the car up. It does have some funny beeps, but anyway, we won't go through any of the entertainment yet. What we'll do is we'll go for a drive, see how it works, and then we'll chat about it. So my first impressions when I got in it is the seating position is very, very good, but its steering is something to get used to. It's not a problem for me, I'm a farmer, so obviously from my point of view it's yeah, it's fine. But if you're used to a Range Rover or something along those lines, you will notice. So I think what we'll do first is we'll go on the road and then we'll do a bit of off-roading. So yeah, let's get going. So yeah, you know, also the camera is very, very, very small. Why they didn't make it a big screen, I have no idea. Like why it's not the whole screen, but you know, sorry, it's me squeezing through. Okay, so let's get on the road. Now this BMW engine and powertrain is very, very, very good. It's a very, very smooth engine. So the gearbox is in drive, and you know, you can see it's very, very smooth. So when you're actually moving, the car itself is brilliant. You know, there's no issues. Which you'll see in a minute, it does come unstuck a little bit, is tight spaces. So what we're going to do is we'll do a quick drive just to show you really what I mean. So let me have a little look that way. Okay, so now we're on the road. You know, this type of thing, it's fine. Visibility's good. The back visibility, I don't know if you can see on the mirror, is not so great, but you know, it has to be sacrifices. It's not a noisy car, very quiet car, and you know, if you're just plodding around, I think it's really good. But yeah, as we get out here, we'll go a bit faster. We'll get onto a faster road. We'll put our foot down and show you what it's like round there. Then when we get back, we'll do a bit of off-roading followed by an entertainment, and I'll give you my true would I buy one. Would I buy one again? Would I buy one again? That's the question. So anyway, let's go down here. We'll go to a national speed limit, and give her a quick open her, stretch her legs out a bit. So, you know, it's quite a big car. You will notice that it is quite a big vehicle. Yeah, you know, it's cumbersome. Even though it's not much bigger than a Range Rover or whatever, it does feel big. So, something to bear in mind if you are someone who drives around towns a lot. Some of you lot to think about. Oh, let's let this. So, yeah, something to think about. The other thing I don't like about it is the entertainment system, which I'll go into detail, is a bit hit and miss. So especially with Bluetooth, etc., it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But anyway, here we go. So I'll give you a bit of an acceleration up to the 60. You know, engine sounds nice. And there we go, we're up to 60 miles an hour. And it handles relatively well for being a high car on off-road tyres. You know, it doesn't drive bad compared to the old Defender. You know, you couldn't drive it ever, really. I've had a few and you couldn't relax in it, and this one you can definitely relax a little bit more. So yeah, I do like the sound of the engine. That BMW 3-litre engine is such a good engine. So, you know, and so this is a bend, as you can see. I'm going to chuck it round it, you know. It does handle all right. It's not bad, and it picks up pretty good. I have got an AdBlue light on, but that's because I was low on AdBlue. So, yeah, as an all-rounder driving machine on the road, it's not bad, it's nippy. Where it does really lack is on a sharp, like a steep sharp turn. It's not brilliant, but you know, needs much. But let me just let you have a few minutes just to have a look around as I'm driving, and then we'll chat when we're back. Alright, now that we're back, let's do our little bit of off-roading, or miles off-roading, shall I say. I suppose this is a good time to talk about the off-road settings. So when you click the off-road on the entertainment settings, comes up. So what you've got on here is you've got the altitude. So obviously it tells you your height, etc., G-forces, bits and pieces like that. Then you've got, let me go back to it, and you've got your temperature. Now you've got your temperature of your gearbox, your case, your transfer case, gearbox, tyre temperature, oil temperatures. Then you've got Pathfinder, which means that you can record where you are, and then you know for your way back. You've got your statistics, so how fast, your latitude, your statistics, etc. And you've got all your electrical circuits, so what's charging, your battery, state of charge, everything like that. So just for a moment, we'll put on the altitude setting, because this is quite a big hill. So I'm just going to leave it in normal four-wheel drive. You definitely won't need any more than that. It's a beautiful evening, so let's just have a little go. So I'm not going to go fast, I just want to feel. So you can see already the altitude will be going up, 227, 228, etc. G-force monitors moving around, which is very, very cool. Necessary on a normal day? No, but it's cool to have. So this is actually a very steep hill, as you can see by the altitude, 43, 46. So we'll go right up here. This is my vineyard. So what we'll do is we'll go right up, and you can see the angle now, 11% pitch, you know, and I have to say, the low down torque, I was always worried with a BMW gearbox how it would react, but to be fair, we're, you know, absolutely brilliant engine. So yeah, we'll keep driving around, we'll just have a little look. We've got some steeper hills in a minute, let's keep going up. Got a little partridge running around there. So anyway, we'll keep going up. You know, we're up to 290 feet now. So, oh, we've got a female pheasant there as well. Got a bit of nature tonight. So, yeah, just go up. You can see how high we've just climbed by the view, how it's changed. It's very impressive off-road. It really is impressive off-road. I would say, personally, it's a lot better than, for instance, a Ford Ranger. Range Rovers and Land Rovers are obviously superb, but they have become, in my opinion, seriously unreliable. So that's your choice, and with this theft going on, that's up to you. So yeah, we'll just go in here, and at the bottom here, it's always very sticky, very, very sticky and muddy. So we'll just turn into there and see how it goes. But yeah, it's comfortable. I like the fact that you've got the grab handle for the passenger there, which not all vehicles have anymore. So you can see this is a 10% pitch, this is. So, you know, and at the end it probably goes to a bit more than that. So, but you can see, you know, it's not skipping, and we've had a lot of rain lately, and this isn't, you can see there is mud, 12%, yeah. And it's absolutely down. It's brilliant. So as an off-road vehicle, if it's something that you are considering, it is superb. Absolutely superb. So, and this here is a real slippery bit. Let's try and get up here. Go on, girl. You know, it's got good grip. Really has. I mean, this is steep. You know, I've got a Ford Ranger, and it wheel spins all over the place. So, definitely as a off-road vehicle, granted it's a very expensive off-road vehicle. This is the problem with these vehicles nowadays, but brilliant, absolutely superb. Anyway, let's go down the bottom and give her a go on the entertainment system. See you all in a second. Okay, so starting with the entertainment system, so as you get your DAB radio, your fuel, your speed, your revs, engine temperature, what gear you're in. Then here, all of these buttons that are here are replicated here, okay? So, obviously the off-road, which we've just been through. Then you've got your phone. You've got your audio, which is, this is Apple CarPlay and DAB thing. Then you've got your devices for your phones, etc. Then you've got your settings, your various settings, your display settings, communication settings, and everything. So it's very, very straightforward. Anyone who's ever had a vehicle with any type of entertainment system will be absolutely fine. So, and really, that's it for inside. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's about it. That is about it. So, you know, it's a good all-rounder. It's a good all-rounder. My final thoughts for anyone who's interested in buying this: if you are looking for a rugged all-rounder, this is the car for you. If you are looking for a luxury four-wheel drive, personally, it is not for you. I would go for a Defender or a Discovery. But if it's something that you are wanting the combination for towing horse boxes, you're in the countryside a lot, you don't go that far, but you know, you can go that far. This is a vehicle for you. This is a vehicle for you. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Welcome back to the channel. You find us after nearly a year and a half from the last review, 20 23,000 miles on the Grenadier. I'm going to do a video of what's changed, what's broken, what hasn't broken. Does it drive the same to take it off? We'll do a bit of off-roading, take it out and see what's changed. So I think we'll start by just doing a visual. We'll do a visual, walk around the car, show you if anything's worn, how it's looking. So everyone, all right, so we start off and this is 23 plate, sorry, Grenadier, and it's commercial spec. So initially looking at it, nothing has fallen off. Actually, the badge fell off. But no, except for that, outside-wise, there's no signs of major rust anywhere. Yeah, everything's looking pretty much the same. It does get dirty quick, but that's any flat-back car. The tyres, these BF Goodrich, they've lasted very well considering they're 22,000 miles. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else really. No, I mean, it's been relatively bulletproof from the outside. There's a few scratches here and there. The paintwork's tough. It's tough, but being a dark colour, obviously, it will show a bit of marks and scratches. So, in terms of the interior, okay, so the back, we use this with the dogs in. Okay, so no squeaks on the hinges. The back's still very, nothing's broken. I mean, we put pallets in here. We actually had a post knocker a few days ago in here. Headlining, nothing, the seats, nothing's broken, nothing's snapped off. Some cars you have, when you use them for proper work, they obviously break. So, no scratches, no squeaks. Go to the back seat. Except for a bit of rubbish in here. These Recaro seats, they've lasted well. To be fair, it really has lasted. The interior has lasted well. Let me close that door. And then going inside, obviously we do use it on the farm, so it is quite dirty. So, in here, do I use these windows? I have done, but as I said, everything's still very, very good. So what we'll do now, we'll go for a little off-road drive, see if anything's changed, and then we'll go on the road and we'll have another chat. All right, so we're back in here. So you can see the mileage now. It's saying service due or overdue, but it's only 27,199 miles. So we're going to go round. And up here, and let's have a little drive. So it's always been a very, very nice car to drive. This, the steering you do get used to. It's not something that bothers me at all anymore. It's never got stuck. I've never even come close to getting stuck. It's been a very, very nice vehicle to own. There's been a very minor little problem with a door latch. So yeah, it's very, very good. The traction and the four-wheel drive system in here, compared to something like Land Rover Discovery or whatever like that, is so much. This does have that same Defender feel from the original Defenders, which kind of, you just know it's going to work. It's basic, but that's what makes it great. It is so basic that it almost feels agricultural, like a tractor, and you kind of trust it more, so you will push the car a little bit harder. The other thing that I've really have grown to love is this engine. I mean, BMW engines have always been great, so there's no surprise that it's good, but you can hear it pulls well. It hasn't missed a beat. This engine has not missed a beat. And when we get on the road, I'll show you, it still drives like it was the day it was bought, really. I mean, there's no knocks, bumps, at all. I mean, a lot of cars, when you use them on a farm after this long, you do tend to find that things get, when you go down a gravel track or whatever, you can hear knocks or dinks. My old Ford Ranger was terrible for it. It used to, you could almost, like, sounds like the bolts were undoing. So from that point of view, this is actually a very steep bit, and this here is made up clay. You can see it's a bun. So, and it has been raining. It's just where that storm Claudia, I think it's Claudia, has been. So this area here is very, very soft and squidgy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn up here, which you can see is covered in mud, and we're going to go up past this trailer, which is actually a very steep hill. It doesn't do it justice on the camera, but I mean, it is wet. And you can hear, I'm deliberately, there we go, perfect. So we're going up a hill, which is pretty steep. Sorry, let me put my seatbelt on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so pulling up the hill, there's no problems at all, That's a steep hill, and didn't even hesitate. Obviously, tyres are a big part of off-roading, but it's how the car and the torque is delivered ultimately that makes it thing. So that was just a normal four-wheel drive. So just gives you an idea of, you know, on day-to-day use, a lot of people, you know, don't use them off-road. I'm sure that there is a lot who do. So, but what we'll do now is we'll go onto the road and we'll have a little drive. All right, so we're now on the road. This engine, sorry about the mud coming off the tyres, is very, very, still feels brand new. Like the day you got it, feels so full of life still. Steering feels the same. You know, it's actually become a very, very reliable, impressive car. Sorry about the cyclist, there's nothing I can do about that. It's become a very, very reliable car, and when we first got this, you always are worried with a new vehicle, whether is it gonna live up to that tough expectations, and the answer is yes, it has. It really has. I mean, we have some very narrow lanes, so this car spends most of its life driving either off-road or going up and down lanes like this, which are like single track lanes with potholes. And you know, here's some potholes here, just takes them in their stride. You know, the car, yeah, of course you can fill them. It's not magical, but it does a good job, the suspension, of soaking up the bumps. So yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with it. It's something that if you're interested in buying one or unsure, my personal advice after having one for a few years now is give it a go. Give it a go. It's not a Defender, the new Defender. So if you've driven one of those, which I have, that is more like a Range Rover to drive almost now, these new Defenders. This is very raw still. It still has that feeling of, okay, there's mud on the road, I'm going to go through it, I'm not going to worry how deep that puddle is. If I did hit something gently, like driving down a woods or something, that it will be fine. I mean, you can see these roads we have are just disgusting. We got some people here. It gives you confidence, this car, to go anywhere. That's the key. It makes you feel like you could go anywhere, and that's the nice part. You don't worry. There's so many cars, you think, oh, do I do that? Should I do that? With this, you feel, yeah, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. That puddle will be fine. So that's just a quick on-road bit of driving, and just a little background to how this one's been. So everyone, I'll give you a summary. So the INEOS, in a summary, it is a great all-round work vehicle for anyone who is involved in needing to go off-road on a regular, farmer, gamekeeper, maybe someone who does fencing or things like that. Brilliant vehicle, a must buy. Thank you everyone for watching, and please like and subscribe, it means a lot. And anything else, please put in the comments and I'd love to answer it. Alright, welcome. I thought I'd do another quick review on the lighting and the interior, and thank you everyone for all the nice comments about the last review. Just a little bit more in depth in this area, so specifically the lighting, but the interior at the night, what the cockpit's like, what it's like to look out using the lights, and what lights there are. So let's go and have a little look. All right, so we start off on this beautiful night. So that's actually quite frosty. So the lights that are kind of signature to this car are these running lights, which I think are quite G-Wagon, I guess. They're all LED, obviously, the headlights, I believe, but I'm pretty convinced they're all LED. You've got these side markers, and then there's nothing else down the side except for a repeater for the indicators. And then we come around the back, and you've got these nice, which I think they look nice, round lights, which are very, very bright, which they would turn off, of course, just as I'm doing the video. But anyway, going back to the inside. So it's a nice cockpit at night. It's got these nice LED lights there. It's also got another interior light there, which is perfect for the passengers, but also in the back. And if you work with a vehicle, you'll know it's nice to have some light. More importantly, you have a decent, so if you are working in here, putting your tools in, or whatever you're doing, your dogs are in here, or whatever you're doing, you've got plenty of light to see. There's also, you do have power output, so you can add other lights if you need to. So from that point of view, it's very, very, very good. Okay, so then the normal headlights, this is actually making them look slightly yellow, but they're very, very ice blue, if you like. So these, as you can see, are very, very bright. They're very, very good. They've got like a, I don't know if you can see it on there, they've got like a three-way system. So these lights, the headlights by themselves, as you can see, they're very intense lights, so they're very, very good. If I go back to the high beams, which we'll put on quickly, you can see they're even brighter. They are very, very bright lights. I mean, if I put you next to it, you can see that is a very, very clear light. Very, very good. So in terms of what they look like, that's it. Then you have the lights that are designed for not on the road, but off-road. So we'll turn those on as well. Okay, so when they're all on, you get this quite presence about it. This camera is, I'm afraid, is not doing it justice at all, but it does give you an insight to how bright the lights are. But I will show you inside, looking out, what these are like. So, but there's the main sets of lights. We don't have any accessories on ours, so they're the main sets. Okay, so now you're in the cab, you can see everything lights up nicely. It's very, very clear what it does, heating, etc., air conditioning, the entertainment system, obviously the gear stick, the high-low, but also obviously one of the features that everyone likes is this control panel here, and we will be using one button there in a minute just to show you. But as it's a cold night, what I will be doing is put my heat seats on, which are brilliant. So let's go for a little quick move, and I'm just going to show you an area where we can you can gauge some distance of the lights. So let's go down here, and it doesn't look that dark on the camera out there at the moment, but the lights are very good. But if I turn them off, you will see how dark, you know, that's just the side lights. So, you know, it is dark enough to do a demonstration. So this here is just your standard, everyday driving light, so you can kind of go through the different stages that you may need. Now I can tell you that around this bend here to the bottom of the hill is about 160 meters. So as it is at the moment, you can see there's a clear line, okay, where it's dark, where it starts to go dark. So what we'll do now is we'll put the high beams on. Now straight away you can see how good those headlights have lit up that extra distance. Now that there is probably closer to it's about 160, 200 meters, and I can see rabbits running around. You see them on the screen. Now, then what we'll do is we go up to here and we hit the off-road button. Now, you might not be able to see that, but what it does is it gives you a more intense light with it. So that's it on, off. You see it very far away, right up about there. It gives you even more light, which is actually impressive, because that is a long way. So that just gives you an idea on those. So, but in terms of what I do like is the fact that you don't have a display here, which obviously people have been saying, oh, it's a bit weird, you don't have a instrument cluster here. You don't get glare. This sat-nav isn't very bright, so not sat-nav, sorry, screen isn't very bright. So, you know, on a long drive at night, you don't feel very glare. It's like some cars I've driven, the dashboard nowadays on modern cars is so bright, you can barely see past the dash. So from that point of view, it's very, very good. The camera at night, ours is dirty. Now, this, I would say, needs to be improved on the new one. It needs to be bigger. If I wiped it, it would be clearer. It needs to be bigger, just a little bit, maybe a bit more high quality. It's not bad. Look, it's good for putting trailers on. And by the way, if you're interested, I am going to be doing a review with trailers. So if you're interested in that, please put in the comments if you think it's a good idea, towing, different experiences I have with that. So, but this was just a very, very quick video. Thank you again, everyone, for the positive comments on my last review. And this is just, like I said, a bit more of an in-depth review of lighting at night. Everyone, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. All right, welcome back to another INEOS video. Grenadier INEOS. She's very dirty, but she does get used on the farm. But today, we're going to do a quick trailer video, okay? So what we've got on here at the moment, I will show you in a second. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick trailer, what it's like towing a trailer up the hills, on the mud, on the road, fuel economy, everything like that. So if you're interested, stick by and let's go. All right, before we start, I wanted to show you the car again if you haven't been watching my video. This is a 2023 Grenadier INEOS, and it is got 27,000 miles, and I've been doing a series from new on what I think of it and how it works. But we've moved on today to towing this trailer. Now, this is a Brian James trailer. It's 5.5 meters long, and empty, it's 1.2 tons. So it's a heavy lump. It's very long and it's heavy. So for the first video in this series, we're going to just do a general towing of something of this weight. So this would be something along the lines of a chipper, or, you know, a caravan, I guess, things like that. And then what we're going to do over the next few videos, we're going to progressively increase. So those logs over there are going to gradually be stacked more, till we get to the max 3.5 ton growth, and then we will see what she's like. So what we'll do is we'll get in, I'll show you what the camera's like for when you're hitching up, and we'll do our off-road drive round these hills, not a big one, and then we'll go on the road. We'll hear what it sounds like, what the vision's like, and we'll go from there. All right, so now we're back in the car. In case you don't know what a Grenadier is, it was the brainchild of a billionaire who wanted to make and try to keep parts of the Land Rover Defender going, but with a modern touch almost, and his way of doing things. So if you haven't seen the cab, this is a very brief overview. It does have this cool cockpit, etc. But it's just a little demonstration in case you haven't seen one. So what we're going to do is we're going to start her up. Okay, and we're going to, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to give her a second. You can still see the service is overdue. We do have a slight low tyre pressure, but we won't hold that. Now, straight away, it does pick up trailer light error, which I know the left-hand side does have one trailer light issue. So the car itself does actually pick that up, which is good. You know, it's a good feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it into reverse, so you can see the camera. Now, my fault with this camera is I think it should be bigger, and I think they should move the camera so it's central, which I will show you in a minute. When I put the trailer on, you'll see the issues I have. But all right, so you can see the camera. There's the tow bar. There's the thing I find a little bit odd compared to other vehicles is it is off center. So you're kind of, you can see that it's not, I'm actually turning away slightly. It's a bit of a, that is actually, see how hard that is to see. It's because you're off center. Let's try there. So you can see, let's go outside quickly and we'll have a look. So it's not quite, but I'm guessing because the camera is not in the centre of the vehicle, it does give you this slight angle. But, you know, it does its job, you can still see, but it just gives you a slight angle. What we're going to do is we're going to run it 4-wheel high on normal gearbox, and this is a wet, grassy hill. You've seen the trailer. So in my mirrors, I would like bigger mirrors. Okay, that's one issue. And I also would like better visibility at the back. Now, I know the window's dirty, but because of a tyre, you can't really see. But that is what it is. So, I'm pulling off, and this is a steep hill, and it's wet. We've had a lot of rain the last few days. So, I'll be honest, I don't know if it will pull it up or it won't. So we'll just give it a go. Like I said, the degree of this hill is... Actually, what we'll do, if we go here, off-road, on here, I believe it does have... Here we go, pitch. So you can see it's 9%, and we've got 3. So if I hold that there, you can see, as we go up the hill, at the moment, it's a 9%, 3%, left and right, if you like. And I'll be honest, at the moment, no problems at all. No wheel spins. I can't feel it trying a wheel spin, which is good. So straight away, on a wet ground, about 1.2 tons, this car is getting up these hills. So if you're someone who works in farming, or if you work in timber, I don't see the day-to-day going around flat fields or hills of 12%. Now, we have got stuck. Well, not stuck. We have struggled here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try, we'll put it in low range, which I've never, ever used. Let me just try and put it in. We'll try and put it in low range. Okay, because I do honest reviews, I'm going to show you from that point what happened. So we were here, and you can see the steepness of the hill. We could not get any traction at all up here. Okay, so as you can see, I've managed to go back down here, and the trailer, because of the weight of the trailer, it's made such a difference, you know, and it is wet, like I said, so obviously the tyres are full. So what we'll do, we'll get this down, and we'll go on the road. Like I said, this is very slippery. That trailer has made such a difference. It does demonstrate how grass and a little bit of mud can affect even the best four-wheel drive. So everyone, let's get back in the car and we'll go on the road. Okay, after getting stuck, we're on the road now. So, like I said, the initial feeling I get is it's towing the weight well. It's got plenty of power, the engine. The visibility is relatively good, but I would like bigger mirrors. I really do only just see the edge of the trailer. The torque of the car is not struggling at all. Now, obviously, when we went off-road then, we got stuck. To be honest, I think my Raptor would also get stuck. It was a bit of a silly test to do, but I just wanted to see if it would do it, and you know, it hasn't. So I don't think that's a reflection on the Grenadier. I think that's a reflection on a combination between the tyres slightly worn, being 27,000 miles, and the ground conditions and the steepness of the hill. But going back to this, it's a very, very, very comfortable ride with a trailer on. Some cars, I don't know if you've ever had it, they almost, especially with a long trailer like this, they judder. It's like dung, 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 dung. And I can't stand it, but this tows very, very well. I'll be honest, I don't tow very much with it. So for me, it's as new to me as it is you, really. I think it's a very, very, very good tow vehicle. I can imagine on a long trip, not a problem. Where the car's quite heavy as well, you don't feel the trailer's bullying you around. You feel you're very much in control of the trailer. Acceleration wise, even with a trailer on, that engine's got absolutely plenty of power to get you up to the speed you need to go. Absolutely plenty. So what we'll do now is we're going to go back and I'm going to really be critical of the pros and the cons of what this can do, and one more walk around to show the mess that I have just made from getting it stuck. Everyone, 2 minutes, let's do it. Right, so the verdict about the Grenadier towing on the road is a very, very suitable vehicle for towing. Okay, very, very good. Off-road, in the right conditions, I know we got stuck today, will be a very, very good vehicle off-road. But it does have some drawbacks, okay? Number one, which I have mentioned, mirrors and rear visibility, okay? This rear visibility does make towing something low quite hard. The other one is the reverse camera not being central to the tow bar. So you're always forever trying to guess where it is. The other issue is the reverse camera display, not big enough. But on the pros, the torque, the comfort, the noise, I don't find the trailer bullies the car, which does happen with some, trust me. And this is a heavy trailer. So overall, brilliant. Now, if you haven't watched my other videos, please do. The next one, we're going to start loading her up and taking her on the road. So we're going to get a lot more weight in there. Because cars change dramatically when they're fully loaded. When the suspension starts to squat, the braking, how it is pulling. So this was just an overview of towing, and we'll do another one. But thank you all for watching. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. It does mean a lot to me. I'm still new to this. I'm trying my best. And everyone, I'll catch you on the next one. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to just clarify and do a few things just to demonstrate. After what happened on the last video, which if you watch my other videos, you'll know that I was towing this and I got it stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the footage now. No problems at all, no wheel spins. I can't feel it trying a wheel spin, which is good. So straight away on a wet ground, about 1.2 tons, this car is getting up these hills. So if you're someone who works in farming or if you work in timber, I don't see the day-to-day going around flat fields or hills of 12%. Now, we have got stuck. Well, not stuck. We have struggled here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try. We'll put it in low range, which I've never, ever used. Let me just try and put it in. We'll try and put it in low range. Okay, because I do honest reviews, I'm going to show you from that point what happened. So we were here, and you can see the steepness of the hill. We could not get any traction at all up here. Okay, so as you can see, I've managed to go back down here, and the trailer, because of the weight of the trailer, it's made such a difference, you know, and it is wet, like I said. So obviously, so when that happened, I believed it was down to the tyres and the combination of the trailer. Now, I've had a few comments about different things that people think, and it's completely... But what I want to do is I want to do it again. The ground is the same conditions, and I want to do it without a trailer, okay? So we'll see how it reacts today without a trailer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and show you the tyres and just show you everything around, and then I'm going to video it from inside and outside, and then let's see how it reacts on the same conditions with no trailer. Everyone, let's go. All right, so as you know, this has got 27,000 miles on it. It's a Grenadier INEOS, and the tyres have not been changed. So there is still tread. But compared to when they're new, it's a good 60% down, 70% down. So I do put this as a factor. So when we do this in a minute, which is up here, we will see if it will do it without. The other thing that came up was, I said the percentage angles, I meant degrees. I did actually mean degrees, so I am sorry for that. It was a slip of the tongue. So what we'll do is we're going to get in and we're going to do it on normal. Then we will put it into low range and lock the diff if needed. So let's get in and do it. All right, so now we're in the car. We're not going to do anything fancy at all. We are going to run this completely standard. So 4-wheel drive, automatic, no diff lock, no off-road settings. We're just going to go for it, and we'll see what happens. So let's go, and we will find. So where that gate is, you can see in the distance, is where it happened. So as I go around this bend, it gets steeper, okay? So let's see now if she will just get up it, no problem at all. So here it is. This is where we got stuck last time, and we're going to go for it. Absolutely no problem at all, okay? So that is a 4-wheel drive standard. So there's no problem at all. But like I said, when the trailer was on, it couldn't get the grip to pull it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round and I'm going to show you what the ground is like again. All right, just to show you the ground. So this is a 14-degree hill, and you can clearly see there's chalk. So a very thin layer of soil, then it goes to chalk. And if anyone knows chalk, it's like an ice rink. So that's just to show you the conditions. So, like I said, it's up a hill as well as having chalk underneath, which is why it makes it slippery. So I just wanted to show you that, and just to clear a few things out. It is a very, very, very capable vehicle, but the trailer was just too much in these conditions. Everyone, catch you soon. Alright, how's everyone doing? You join me again for another video. I've had some absolutely wonderful comments on the last few videos, and I want to go through things that people have said in the comments a little bit more in detail, because everyone has been very polite, nice, and has enjoyed it, but they want to know a little bit more about the in-depth technologies or buttons and bits and pieces. Also, miles per gallon, things like that. And also servicing is another one. So as you can see, she's still dirty, hasn't been washed since any of these videos. So what we'll do is just getting a bit grey, like it always is in England at the moment. What we'll do, flip the camera around, and we'll go through some bits and pieces that I think people want to hear. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so one of the things I thought I'd mention is servicing. So this is obviously the BMW 3-litre diesel engine. Let me say again, been extremely reliable. So the service for us came at 10,000 miles, the first one. And it was quite a detailed service. There was a couple of little recalls. It went back for a parking sensor to the dealership, and that was about it. The parking sensor has been a bit intermittent. So anyway, we went back. So the full service at 10,000 miles cost £657. So compared to other cars, that's pretty average, I think. And that's your normal, your oil change, air filters and all of that type of stuff. It's due its next service now, and we did get a quote, and I believe it's actually £600. So amazingly, a service has actually got cheaper. The tyres, after 27,000 miles, they've still got a good 10,000 miles left in them, and I don't see any reason to ever change to those tyres, change tyres when the time is come. So I'm going to stick with the same brand. So what we'll do is we'll go in, just have a little look at the computer system a bit more, and just look a bit more in depth on the button side of things, because that is something that people have said they would like to see. So let's jump inside. Okay, so now we're inside. The first thing, working our way from the driver's door over. So down here we have our 4 switches for our windows. We have our left, right mirror adjustment, and we have a door lock. So that's for starting on the driver's side. We have one air vent, followed by this very small information screen. Now basically this is all your warning lights. The engine's not on, that's why they're on. So you have a very, very basic, and like I said before, from a driver's point of view, at night you have very, very little glare, okay, on this car. So then going through, now one of the weird or unique features of a Grenadier is you have your horn. So that's a big horn. But then you have this horn, and if I open the window, you'll hear it. It's a very, very quiet horn. And that horn is to let cyclists know you're there. Quite quirky, but, it works. So then going down here, you have your OK button. So when you're flicking through things, obviously to OK. You have your volume, you have your track changes. And then over this side of the steering wheel, you have your voice commands. You have cruise control, up, down, set, and you have cancel. Okay. Then over from there, you go to the main entertainment. Now on this screen, you have all types of different things you can do. At the moment, you can see it saying one of the tyres is low, the mileage, the range, and that's it at the moment. So I believe, and what we're going to do is we go to menu, we hit home. So this is home, service overdue, which is saying. Then we go down to the settings menu. Here we go. Let's go through this a second. And then what we're going to do is go to off-road. So in the off-road mode, you have 5 different things. So you have your altitude, temperature, pathfinder, statistics, and electrical. So if we go on to altitude, it's got these 2 gauges, and it tells you the pitch and the roll, your altitude, etc., the G-forces. So that's one part of that. Then you've got your tyre temperatures, gearbox temperature, oil temperature, and I guess that's diff case temperature. Then you can record where you're going. So like a thing tells you here your average speed, your average fuel, travel distance on your last drive. Okay. And longitude and latitude. Now, because the engine's off, it's currently showing what's happening. So at the moment, obviously, because the engine's off, it's discharging the state of charge, the battery temperature, voltage, etc. So all of that is amazing, amazing information. So then, if we go to temperature, you can manually go into each of those things. So I flick through them like this, but you can also manually do it one at a time. So then audio, let me just turn the volume down because YouTube gets funny. Pretty standard stuff. It's your DAB. So you flick across. You can save your radio stations, etc. Also, this is touchscreen. So device, obviously your phones, etc. As me and my dad. So there. So as you can see, the screen is functional, it's good, and it does what it needs to do. But it is not fancy at all. Okay, it's not fancy at all. Coming down here now, we didn't spec the compass. I know you can. We personally didn't. So coming down here, you have your heated seats, you have your blower, you have auto climate control, so you have your temperature, you've got your different areas you want, feet, etc., windscreen. Then you've got this heated seat. Then you've got nice big buttons for heated front window, heated rear window. Then you've got these nice little metal trims that have the hazard light, a little bit like it's a emergency stop button or something. Then you've got your air conditioning, your recirculate, parking sensors on, off. Then you have your volume, and you can just hit straight away mute. And then obviously something which I personally love turning off, the stop start, because I hate stop start. That's just a personal thing. I don't know why they put it on cars. So from that point of view, that's there. So then we have this gear stick. Now, obviously, I've had BMWs in the past, so it's very normal. But it's obviously, you click one way, drive, neutral, reverse. Then you flick across and you can manually select, okay? And then park when you're done. This is your lock. So you have to be into neutral. And then you can move that to lock the differentials, etc. And then this here is basically an exact copy of what's up here. So if you look at the buttons there, that's those buttons there. So that is this bit here from the cockpit. Now, let's look at the roof. Okay, going up at the roof. So we start and we have 2 lights. And what I do like is they're proper buttons. You know, real proper buttons, okay? So we start off with the lights. Then we go over to the other light, which is the back ones, which, as you can see, turns them all on. Then, if you want them to turn on with the doors, okay? We have traction control on, off. We have a hill descent mode. This is a funny place to put this, but this is actually the height of your lights. Then we have the middle lights, which I've showed you before, which is in another video. So if you haven't seen it, check out the lighting video. Then we have these 2 grills, which I guess is where the speakers are for this. And then we have the SOS button, which obviously calls, I think, it's just for deal of it. It could be the police, I don't know. You have wading mode, and you have off-road mode. So these are the other 2 bits of it. Then, which a lot of people like, is you've got these big auxiliary switches. Okay, so if you have anything you want, like roof lights or inverters, because you're going off-road, they're very good. Obviously, we do have the basic window to open the roof lights, if you like. And then coming round to the back, very, very, very basic, obviously. Can of Coke in here. I do like the fact that this box is lockable, so you can lock it. And really, that's it. So let's summarise this car. All right, sorry, the quality's not great. It's that time of the day. So it's a very, very, very practical layout, okay? Everything, you can definitely do it with gloves. You could do it, you can definitely hit the buttons, okay? There's no problem here. It's very, very comfortable. It's not at the same level of a modern car, i.e., you know, a Range Rover with real fancy settings and buttons, but it does do everything, and it does it all where you can almost bang it with your fist to make them work. Or, you know, here you've got mud on your hands and you can go, you just, oh, I need to put that on, it's dark or whatever. So if you are someone that actually uses their car off-road and likes to get muddy and have everything on it, or you work in that environment, this is the car for you. You almost feel like you could wash it out with a hose. I don't think you should, but it feels like that. Everyone, check out all my other videos if you haven't already. Please keep the comments, because then I can go and keep doing videos to help me improve and also give you what you want. Everyone, catch you soon. Welcome back to another Grenadier video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. A quick overview before we go into what this video is about, which if you've seen my thumbnail, you'll know. So this is a 23 plate Grenadier with 28,000 miles on it, or nearly 28,000 miles on it. And we do use it on the farm, and it's been absolutely brilliant, and I've got loads of reviews, so if you go on my channel you can see them. But a quick walk around the car for someone who hasn't seen it. So it's a green Grenadier INEOS 23 plate. It is a commercial spec, but it has got the glass panels instead of the metal ones. It's been spec'd to a Field Master, but it's commercial. Until you've driven them, it's the rear seats that makes the difference, okay? So with the commercial one, they are a bit tighter, but for our usage, as we chuck things in the back all the time, it was perfect. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of the car. Now what we're talking about today is servicing. So I've done a 28,000 mile service, and I've got the invoice in the car, which we'll go and sit in a minute, and a breakdown of what had to be changed, what was good, the brake wear, the percentages over that period of time. So let's go and dive straight in. All right, let's go. Okay, now that we're in the Grenadier, let's let's have a little look. So here's the invoice. So I'm going to read off the invoice, okay? So this was a service at 28,000 miles, okay? And the service, okay, included oil disposal, change of oil filter, brake fluid, air filter, pollen filter, screen wash, labour, antifreeze, and a multi-point check, okay? So, the tyres were all checked. So, within 28,000 miles of BF Goodrich, which I'll show you now, have got 8mm right, 8mm left, 9mm left rear, and 9mm right rear. Spare still got the 12. So it shows you they haven't worn that much in that period of time. The next thing that was checked was the brakes. So the front brakes have worn 50%. The rear brakes have worn 50%. So I guess that's a good thing. The antifreeze, and bear in mind, we haven't touched any of this. This is just from service. The antifreeze is minus 35 degrees still. So that stayed potent. So going on to the costs, okay? The costs. So the oil filter disposal, oil and oil filter disposal was £9, okay? The oil filter was £24. The oil for the car was £97. The brake fluid was £13. The air filter was £34. The pollen filter was £54. That's quite okay, fair enough. The screen wash was £2. That's neither here or there. Now the labour rate was £294. The antifreeze long life top up was £7.95, so £7.95. And gear oil, I think that is G1 GL5 oil, was £9.85. So the grand total of that for a 27,000 mile service on a Grenadier 3 litre diesel was £656, okay? So that was what was done on the service, okay? So that was it. Then Grenadier had warranty situations. So what they've done is, since that, brand new keys, okay? They basically replaced, I believe, every single lock, and they've given 2 keys. I don't know what was wrong with the locks, the previous locks. They didn't actually say to me. As far as I was aware, everything was working fine, and I had no problem. But we did get 2 new keys, so that is another thing. So that just gives you a quick insight. The cost of ownership over the last, I think it was the last service was 12,000 miles. So, 15,000 miles-ish in servicing is £656, okay? And they are a approved Grenadier dealer, because around our way at the moment, we actually don't have many. Some of them, the bigger ones actually closed, so, which is a shame. But anyway, it is approved Grenadier specialist. So that was just a quick video, a quick update. And I hope that's helpful for everyone. And please, if you can subscribe, like the video, it helps me so much. And any ideas, comments are always welcome. If I'm rubbish, you say I'm rubbish. If you think it's good, say that I'm good. It all helps, okay? Everyone, I'll catch you soon. Welcome back to another Grenadier video. So, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dan, and I have a Grenadier, which is here. So I'll just show people who haven't been on the channel before. This is a INEOS Grenadier on a 2023 plate, and it is a few years old. It's got 28,000 miles on it, and I do videos from off-road, towing, interior, exterior, servicing costs, everything. So we use this on the farm every single day. It's not used in like a town car. It's a proper off-road, go anywhere beast, and we use it for that every day. So that's a quick show round of the car. So what I want to do today is I've ordered another one, and I want to demonstrate and show you how over 3 years the pricing has changed. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in, and I've got the original quote price and I've got the new builder price. See how much it's changed. Has it gone up or has it gone down in those years? So let's go. I welcome you back into my Grenadier, and the seats are comfortable as normal. If you're sitting comfortably, we're going to go through this car's spec first, okay? And tell you the end price. Now, this, because it was done at the very, very early stages of Grenadier, doesn't have the breakdown prices, where the new one does, but I do have the actual price, okay? So, this is a 2023 Grenadier station wagon. It has a 3-litre BMW turbocharged engine with an 8-speed transmission and a manual override, okay? It's Cellar Green. It has contrast ladder frame, contrast roof, locking wheel nuts, 18-inch steel wheels with the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres and an access ladder, okay? Options and accessories. Safari windows, heat reflective glass, and bump strips. Now, the interior, like I said, which is extremely comfortable, are Recaro leather seats, and they are very, very good, and they are heated. We also got, with this car, we got seat covers, we actually haven't used them, central lock box, heavy-duty floor mats with drains. We also got a smooth pack and an off-road pack with centre differential lock and side runners. We've got the tow bar and electrics. We've got auxiliary charge points, load space net partition crossbars, okay? And then you've got your standard safety stuff like your reverse camera, emergency assistance, anti-theft alarm, heated mirrors, etc. Okay, so that's kind of a very, very basic of what this car was, okay? Now, the warranties on these cars are 3 years paint, service intervals are 1 year, and base warranty is 5 years, okay? So the horsepower, if you are interested, of this engine is 245 with the max torque 550 Newton meters, okay? So for all of that, in 2022 this was ordered, cost the grand total of £62,190. But because it is a commercial, you could look at the without that, which is 52,934. Okay, so that is this car we are sitting in now. So remember, the end price was 62,190. We have spec'd the car exactly the same, because we like this spec. But how much has that price changed? Well, I can actually give you a bit of a breakdown on the actual prices as well, because this one does have them. So the same 5-seater utility wagon, Grenadier, same engine, same gearbox. Now, the green paint is a £650 extra. The contrast ladder frame black is included. Now, the black roof, which we have, so the contrast roof, is £1,950. The locking wheel nuts are 95, Now, the steel wheels with the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres come in at £1,025. So that is an extra. The access ladder on the back is £320. Now, this is quite an expensive option. I give or take, but my dad, he likes them. So the Safari windows is £1,695. So it's quite a big lump for a couple of windows, but anyway. The heat reflective privacy glass is £455. Okay, and then the roof trim is included. Now, the seats on this one, the Napa leather driving pack, that's all included. The mats are included. The central differential lock included. The comfort pack included. All of the park rear camera emergencies, this is all included, okay? So, warranty, has it changed? This is a question, because things are always changing, so we'll check. Okay, so has it changed? Sorry, let's go back. Okay, so the base warranty is 5 years again. Paint warranty is 3 years, and service intervals are a year, so nothing's changed there. So let's go down to the price. So, the 2022 price, what we paid for this, was $62,190. The price as today, which is December the 20th, is £68,685. So that has gone up by £6,495. Okay, so that is the difference between when we ordered it in 2022 to 2025. Everything's gone up in the world, as we know. So, yeah, it kind of doesn't surprise me. We did get a very good deal because we want to be early people. So, you know, you are up there with, you know, Land Rover Defender, I think Land Cruiser type money. So it is a choice. All I will say is this car is still the tough go anywhere car that the others, which I have driven with Defenders and Discoveries and all the other stuff, doesn't have that feel. I still wouldn't want to get it covered in mud everywhere, and, you know, I'd worry about it too much. So, thank you everyone for watching. Okay, if you are still here, I want to say thank you to every single one of you who watches the videos. The last few videos I've done, I have had such amazing comments and some amazing people that have really spurred me on to keep going, because, you know, there's a lot of very, very kind people. So thank you all. And if you haven't subscribed and you are still watching it, maybe if you could subscribe, it's completely free. It really helps me out, because going forward, I want to do more videos. And the more subscribers, the more opportunities we can get. And I want to do some aftermarket bits, but also I am thinking about a quartermaster. So I want to get one of those on demo, and test it compared to the Ford Raptor as well. So everyone who's watched so far, thank you so much, and have an amazing, amazing Christmas. Thank you. You join me for another Grenadier video, but this is a Christmas Eve video, and it's answering all of your questions. I'm Dan, and if you don't know, I have a Grenadier, and I started to do videos about different parts. So this is my Grenadier. It has the steel wheels, and it's relatively basic, but it's 3 years old with 28,000 miles, and I love it, and I enjoy driving it. And we've done lots of different reviews and different types of things, and we're building a bit of a community in the channel, which is great. So if you haven't seen any of my other videos, please check them out. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to answer your questions, and we're going to go in that car, because if anyone else is in England at the moment, it is freezing. Let's go. All right, so now we're in the warm. It is so cold and windy. It's a bit of a shock to the system at the moment. So these are comments that have been put in the chat, and I want to respond to these different comments. And please, by all means, if you comment, I will do these videos every so often to chat about what people have said. You know, some of it is criticising, but others is very, very good. So let's go. We're going to start off with Nigel. Thinking of changing from a Toyota Hilux to the petrol Grenadier. What is your thoughts? Okay, I have driven the petrol Grenadier. I can't off the top of my head say the fuel economy, but what I can say is it's a very, very good engine, and it is nippy, okay? It sounds good. When you put your foot hard down, it does fly. Other than that, it's exactly the same. But the engine itself, I believe, was used in either a BMW M3 or a BMW 330. But in the day, it was a very, very good engine. So that's my opinion, Nigel. If you do see me looking, it's just because I'm just checking my notes. Okay, so on the last video, we did the price comparison of a brand new one compared to when we paid for this. And someone has asked, is the prices before discount? So there's two parts to this question. So the price of the original car, the one I'm in, was with discounts. That is what we paid. But the new quote, which I said, was not with any discount, okay? So that may change, and I will update you all on the final price, okay, of that vehicle. But that is as it was on the configurator, and it did, I don't know if that has added a discount. I don't know what they can do. So we will find out, okay? So the next question is Graham. Should have brought a Toyota. Now this is a mixed question from a lot of people about Toyota. Now I'm guessing they're referring to the Land Cruiser. I'm not big into my Toyotas. Now, the reason I wouldn't personally go for a Toyota is because of how a vehicle makes you feel. So a Toyota, yes, it might very well be better at this or better. I can't comment. But I have to like the look and the drive and what it does for me. So personally, and I'm not knocking Toyotas, they're absolutely bulletproof from what I've heard. But for me, I would have this over a Toyota. But that is a personal thing. So I just wanted to touch on it. Someone asked, how much is the old one, so the one I'm in now, currently worth if I was to trade that in for the new one, okay? So basically, how much money has it dropped? It's roughly worth £42,000. 3 years old, 27,000 miles. So without doing the sums, but that's what it's lost. So it's roughly worth £42,000. Now, this question came up a lot from the service video. So if you haven't watched that video, the service video. And I agree with it. But main dealer mechanics are not always the best. I agree. I 100% agree. Because I've been to main dealers with different cars, Land Rovers as well, and bits and pieces. And I never forget, I took the Land Rover 90 in for a corrosion issue under warranty, and I got the vehicle back, and I'm not going to shame any dealers. I got the vehicle back, and they had to take the headlight surrounds off, and bits and pieces. The bolts weren't put in properly. It was wobbly. It was loads and loads of loose bolts, missing bolts. So I do understand that to some mechanics at main dealers aren't as good as mechanics elsewhere. So I do 100% agree with that. Now, another question that's come up a few times, and I haven't addressed it in my videos, is where the where the brake pedal is, there's quite a big hump. Now, people have said, does that annoy me? Do you mind? The answer is, when you get used to it, initially, when you get in it, it does feel a touch intrusive to where your pedals are. But after time, to be honest with you, it's not something I even think about. So the answer to that, the big, I don't know if the transmission goes down or what, but it doesn't bother me, no. Now, this is back to the servicing video again, and people are basically saying that it was a rip-off, the service, the oil. And then Mike has explained that his Land Rover Discovery 110, similar type of, cost £940. So that makes the INEOS servicing quite reasonable, in my opinion. Now, yes, oil and bits and pieces you could do yourself and warranties, and there's always been this up in the air. My experience, the time you buy the proper parts and genuine parts, all the bits, yes, you're saving the labour. Okay, I agree, you are saving labour. But I'm not the best mechanic in the world. So from my point of view, yes, I could do it. 100% I could do it. But I think it's better left to the experts, myself. Okay? Interesting for anyone who's unsure about the tyres. Now, Simon, when the service video, they said there was 50% left. We've done 27,000 miles. Simon says that he got out of his last set of BF Goodrich 125,000 kilometres. So I don't know what that is in miles, but it shows you that these tyres are tough old tyres and they last a long time. So it's nice to see other people, how theirs have lasted. Okay. Okay, Dave's INEOS. This is going back to the towing vehicle now. Towing video, sorry. When I attempted to drive up the hill with a trailer and the vehicle didn't make it. He's basically saying that it's my fault. And I agree, because it very well could be my fault. You know, I'm a farmer and I drive a lot off-road. Now, yes, there was a situation with the diff lock, but I haven't actually used it at that moment. So if you check out the video, you'll see. But to be honest, the weight of the trailer was such a long trailer at 6 meters long that as I went up, where I was dragging it up, the car really didn't want to tow it up there. Now, it's not just this vehicle, like I said, I believe most vehicles, but if you strongly believe that you could have got that straight up there, then that is my mistake, okay? So I don't want people to think that it can't do it, because there may be people out there that can do that easily. But me, personally, that was what happened to me. And the final question, and this has come up a lot, I feel that people don't class this as a British vehicle because it's made in France. So, what do I think of that? I buy a vehicle. I buy a vehicle because I like it, and what it does. I think that most vehicles now, the bits and pieces are from all over the world. So ultimately, can you get anything truly British now? You know, so I think this is a good car, and I think the morals. I think the intention is to be as British as possible. So from that point of view, No, it doesn't, but I do get a lot of comments from that. Anyway, should we go for a little drive? I think we should. I think we'll go for a drive. Let's go. All right, let's go for a drive, because we haven't been. So there is for everyone who is still thinking about buying one of these cars, they do, the steering is something that I haven't really talked that much about, and I know it's a lot of people have mentioned this in the past. So when we get out onto here, I will talk about it. Let's just get out onto the road first. Alright, so it's, people say about the steering, when you drive the vehicle for a period of time, it mainly feels to me like it doesn't feel bad. You do have to correct it. Now that is a difference if you're not used to correcting things. I mean, I'm in tractors, I'm in things all the time. But it almost feels like when you turn, the way to describe it is when you turn, when you turn the wheel, look, you see, I had to pull it back, so that was a bit dramatic, but it wants to carry on the lock that you give it, okay? So it is a bit strange, but to be honest with you, when you drive a car properly, you should always be holding the wheel anyway, shouldn't you? So, you just know that you've got to do it. So, but yeah, going back to this petrol versus diesel, I feel that this diesel variant of this car has, I mean, absolutely tons of power. To be honest, it's a very, very impressive engine, and these BMW 3-litre engines have always been good. Even in the 3 Series, BMW's 5 Series, they've always been absolutely brilliant. What we're going to do now is we're going to go up some narrow, very, very dirty country roads, and even though it's a big vehicle, it doesn't feel that big, if you know what I mean. So let's go, and we'll go down a very, very narrow lane, and we'll go for a nice drive. Okay, so one of the things I do like is the height of this vehicle. You do sit very, very high. Now, these lanes are quite typical from where I live, and most of the driving I do is cutting along lanes like this, which are quite skinny, but it doesn't feel like a big vehicle at all. Okay, so if it is something that you're worried about, it doesn't feel that big at all. I actually find, and as this road goes down, it does get quite bumpy and muddy, but this car handles and drives so well on road as well as off road. It eats up the bumps, and actually normal driving like this, for me, this is normal. You got plenty of power, and I really actually enjoy the driving experience of this car. So don't be put off if you have heard reviews or read articles on things, because it really isn't. I mean, this is a national speed limit, and we're just polluting along, and she will eat the miles up as well. So, on a long journey, the furthest I've been is France, and she absolutely ate the miles up, no problem at all. So please comment what you would like to see next, the different videos you would like to see more of. I am planning to do a off-roading special, so actually taking it somewhere which is large amounts of trails and tracks, so that'll be a good video. There may be some long distance, i.e. driving to skiing or something like that, driving to the Alps. So just let me know in the comments, and I always try to respond to the comments, even if they are sometimes not always of the nicest comment. All right, thank you everyone so much. If you are still watching now, please like, subscribe, it means a lot. And I think next year we're going to do some good videos. We're going to do lots of different Grenadier videos. As things change, we keep going. We'll get a new one to play with. I do want to get the is it the quartermaster, the pickup? I am interested in that. So, but we're getting a new one, and we're going to do a lot of, might even go camping, long driving, off-roading properly. So everyone have such an amazing Christmas, and I'll catch you all in the new year. Thank you.